Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Mindset of Steel podcast, where we help busy professionals get stronger, lose weight, and build unstoppable discipline one mindset shift at a time. I'm Fernando Sosa, your host, and today we're diving into a topic that I think that a lot of people don't talk about it that much, and it's liposuction and what really happens to your fat cells afterwards. Because here's the truth. A lot of people think lipo is a shortcut, but what I've learned recently, and I'm a little, I guess, embarrassed to admit that I just learned this because I feel like it's common knowledge, but this hasn't been in my radar, liposuction, and I just didn't look into it until now. I just learned about this that I'm going to share with you. Maybe you already know this, maybe not. But if you didn't know it, it would absolutely change how you see that procedure and how important fitness still is even after surgery. Stick around and I'll share what I discovered, the mindset lessons behind it, and a few quick practical wins, and also this week's challenge to help you build real lasting results. All right, let's jump in. So here's what happened. I was talking with someone recently who had liposuction done, and it was actually a few years ago. And they told me, Fernando, I looked amazing afterwards. I dropped inches overnight, but now the fat is coming back and it's showing up in totally different places. And I was like, wow, that got me curious. So I did some digging, and so it turns out that liposuction doesn't eliminate your tendency to gain fat. And I'm curious to know if that is properly disclosed to people when they're considering this procedure. I'm sure there's probably a legal disclosure that you have to sign, probably a small print. That's my guess. Because I don't think people can, a procedure like this can happen without stating all the consequences or the risk, etc. So I would think that's one of the things which should be disclosed, and it probably is in writing, but I don't, a lot of things are in writing just to cover themselves, but I digress. So what happens is it removes the fat cells in the specific area where you're getting it done. So here's the kicker. Your body has a set number of fat cells, and when you remove them from one area, your body can't grow new ones there. So when you gain weight, you're not going to gain weight in that area anymore. However, when you gain weight, there's still fat cells in other areas of your body. So that's where you're going to get bigger. So people often see weight coming back in new spots, like their back, their arms, even their face. And that made me realize something powerful. You can't shortcut your way to long-term results. You can buy the appearance for a while, right? But if your habits and discipline aren't on point, you can still gain weight, and then you're going to gain it in other areas. So you're going to go, I don't know if probably in a worse spot than you were before, right? If you weren't happy with how you looked in that area, now you're going to have another area to be looking at. And, that's something to think about. So if your habits and discipline don't change, your body will find a way to return where it was. And that's the key thing to think about. So it's not just a physical lesson, it's a mindset one. Here's a mindset takeaway. Surgery can change how you look, but only your habits can change who you are. Whether it's liposuction, crash diets, or 30-day challenge, they all give you the illusion of a quick win, but lasting change requires consistent effort, especially when life gets busy. And as professionals, we're used to solving problems fast. We value efficiency, results, and progress. But when it comes to our health, shortcuts cost more than what you save. Think of it like your career. You wouldn't expect to stay successful if you stop learning, stop showing up, or and stop performing after a promotion, right? So same thing with your fitness. The work doesn't stop when you hit your goal. That's when the real work. the maintenance, the mindset, the discipline begins. So if you ever felt frustrated because your progress didn't stick, it's not because you failed. It's because you were focused on results instead of your identity. When you start thinking like the kind of person who stays fit, you'll act like one too. All right, let's get practical. Here are a few quick wins to help you maintain results, whether you've had a procedure or not. Number one, prioritize resistance training. Building lean muscle helps you burn more calories at rest and keeps your metabolism high. So you're less likely to regain the fat. Number two, be consistent, not perfect. You don't need to train 7 days a week. Even 3 to 4 intentional workouts and 80% consistency with nutrition will outperform any short-term fix. Number three, watch your stress. Busy professionals often live in a high stress state, and cortisol can directly affect fat distribution. Schedule real recovery time, walk, sleeps, deep breathing. It matters more than you think. And number four, track progress differently. Don't just look at the scale. Track your strength, track your energy, and your habits. Those all tell you what's really changing. All right, time for this week's challenge. I want you to write down one area in your life where you've been looking for a shortcut. Maybe it's your nutrition. Maybe it's skipping workouts when it gets crazy. Maybe it's waiting for the perfect time to start. Now, I want you to flip that script. Ask yourself, what would the disciplined version of me do instead? Because the small mindset shift from shortcuts to standards is what separates who yo-yo and those who maintain results in life. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Mindset of Steel podcast. If this hits home for you, if you've been stuck in that cycle of start, stop, start again, and you're ready to finally build sustainable habits that fit your schedule, then I'd love to help. You can book a free strategy call with me. We'll talk about your current goals, your challenges, and how to create a plan that actually lasts. Just hit the link in the show notes or message me ready on Instagram and I'll send you all the details. That's all for now. Until next time, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and remember, your mindset is the strongest muscle you can train. Thanks for tuning in.